Hello everyone. I've got another video for you. '76 buried that ship there, and then the towers were built over it, as an occult ritual of colonial domination. It's just a thought. Tell me in the comments what you think. I'd love to know.
Some people believe that the illustrations on the cards in the Illuminati card game, created by Steve Jackson in 1982, predicted real-life disasters and events that occurred years after its release, including the 9/11 attacks, the unaliving of Princess Diana, Donald Trump becoming president, and the Boston Marathon. These suspicions have led some to accuse Jackson of being involved with the Illuminati and aware of their plans. In 1990, the Secret Service raided the offices of Steve Jackson Games, alleging that employee Lloyd Blankenship, also known as a hacker named The Mentor, had illegally accessed American telecommunications company Bell South Systems and uploaded a document about the 911 emergency response system to the company's bulletin board. In the raid, the FBI would seize 3 computers along with over 300 floppy disks. Steve Jackson Games would sue the Secret Service for invasion of privacy and lost revenue due to the illegal seizure of their computers, and they would end up winning in court. It is unclear whether there is any truth to the accusations surrounding Steve Jackson and the Illuminati, or the events depicted on the cards were simply a coincidence.
If you have anxiety, please keep scrolling. This video is not for you. So basically, there's this Illuminati card game, which was made in 1994. This one is called New World Order or something like that. And the last 6 cards are extremely accurate. Population reduction, and then Center for Disease Control. Corona. Remember the first few theories about the coronavirus, how it was used as population reduction? Then epidemic, except we have a pandemic, and then combined disasters, wildfires, nearly World War III, a bunch of crazy shit happening. Then goal, kill for peace, George Floyd riots and protests and just fighting for change. And the end is tape runs out. So it could either signify a new beginning or we're gonna die.
I have all of these cards, and the accurate predictions that have come true decades in advance truly astound me. The scary part is that there are events that the government and the media are talking about right now that are setting us up for even more of the predictions to come true. Project Bluebeam, the alien invasion that the government is discussing right now as a potential event? It's in there.
Let's start with a term that we're hearing quite a bit about in the last couple of years, the New World Order. Our president is going all around the world proclaiming a new world order.
A new world order can emerge.
It's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build.
There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
There is something going on here on an international, worldwide scale right before our eyes, but that so many of us are unaware, and consequently we're not really seeing what is happening. There is, in fact, a conspiracy or a planned world domination coming by this thing that George Bush calls a New World Order. We like to say in this country that we have the ability as Americans to elect. But the problem is we do not have the ability to select. We can only elect, which means that we can only vote for those candidates which are put before us by our masters, our hidden masters behind the scenes. And when you understand that the Democratic and the Republican Party are financed, and believe me, in this world, money is the bottom line. If you have it or if you don't. And the Democratic and the Republican Party are financed and organized and directed by the same banking families. The same people who finance your banks are the same people who finance your institutions of government. As a matter of fact, the word for bench in relation to a judge sitting on the bench comes from banco, which is in Latin, meaning the bank.
The Federal Reserve is not federal.
Has nothing to do with the
It is not a reserve.
No.
They create that fiat quantity money that you use. It's like monopoly money. For less than a penny a note, they lend it to the U.S. Treasury in exchange for interest-bearing bonds. They print this stuff for less than a penny a note. They lend it in exchange for interest-bearing bonds. They issue this into circulation as debt-bearing currency.
And that's why on the dollar bill it says up in the left-hand corner on the dollar bill, this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. The reason it was put on there is because it was a piece of paper, and you have to tell the people that it's legal.
If you have a piece of toilet paper, it can be used and tossed away. But as soon as you print Federal Reserve note, it becomes an obligation of the public to pay. There is a conspiracy of this oligarchy to bring about this global government upon the ashes of the United States of America. And all of you would be enslaved or slaughtered if you don't go along with their gig.
The new plan.
The plan, the New World Order, Novus Ordo Seclorum. It's on the dollar bill.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo ab Chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ab Chaos. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we're having all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated. Myself, I'm not looking for anyone to come back, no Messiah to come back to help. I'm not looking to any of this. My belief is that knowledge is the thing that's needed. People need to wake up and discover who is running their government, what the symbols of government mean, what these emblems mean. When they see the national coat of arms, the flags, the emblems, the seals, the symbols, all of these things mean something. Educate yourself. Find out where it came from. That's the only hope I see for the human race, is the human race itself waking up to find out we've been had.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
I have been studying the behaviors and listening to the words of elitists for over 25 years, and there is no doubt that there is a shadow government working incessantly on creating this new world reset. The idea is to hand over a one-world government to a man of sin and destruction who will fool the entire world into believing that he has established peace in the Middle East. He will install a one-world economy, religion, and world government, replacing all systems that have been in place since the inception of mankind. This one-world leader, colloquially known as the Antichrist, will have his right eye maimed, and this is the all-seeing eye on the back of the $1 bill in the United States, and why all Hollywood starts covering their right eye in magazines and videos. One can deny this is happening, but all one has to do is look at the world without bias, prejudice, or political leanings, to see that something very wrong is happening and that the New World Order has been delivered right to our doorstep. It's here. I am 100% sure that all politicians, actors, actresses, musicians, or anyone famous are just high-value slaves to the Illuminati. They dispel any myths about it in their own words, and it's on video.
This thing called the Black Eye Club. A lot of celebrities, even presidents, people in power, all at some point had this like black eye. And that was a sign that they've initiated into this elitist club. Everybody Google the Black Eye Club, and you can see different celebrities that have it. Like there's literally so many here. I'll show you right now. Check this out. Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling, Adam Sandler, George Bush, Barack Obama, bro.
Kanye West? What?
Kanye, okay, but that was from his crash.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's hard to say for sure. Things like this, we can't know for sure because maybe they just had an accident. You know what I mean?
I know, but the symbolism, like you said, mask, and she was dressed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a movie where she was trying to represent like that movie.
Yeah.
And in that movie, she was wearing a Volto mask, which means ghost, right? Which translates to ghost. And that same person in that movie that she dressed up as, she was sacrificed in that movie.
Oh shit.
So it's like
I don't know much about the Black Eye Club, as the famous people who support the look are reluctant to discuss it for some reason. It seems that famous people often get injured from falling downstairs. I have heard from independent researchers who know some of these people, and there is a theory that the black eye is a result of someone selling their soul to Satan. Allegedly, the process involves allowing a demonic parasite to enter through the eye and fuse itself to the host internally, taking control of many of its mental faculties. This installation ensures that the host is under the control of demonic influences in exchange for gaining fame and fortune. They must serve the demonic forces of Satan by singing, glorifying satanic topics, influencing fans to do the same, and generally corrupting the youth spiritually. The name of the collective of parasites is the Vril. It is a black sludge, in which Hollywood tips its hat in many of their demonic movies. This could all be false, but there are too many famous people sporting this black eye for it to be a coincidence. Something is not right.
You've seen like that one world order stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like the aliens are gonna come in. There's gonna be a god that's supposed to be a god.
The Antichrist.
The Antichrist.
That's actually in the Book of Revelation.
Yeah, which is crazy.
They're supposed to be like a false prophet.
There was this girl at like a grocery store. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be the first one to pay for my groceries through my hand," and she goes like this. And she goes over the scanner. She goes, and it goes, beep, bing. I think in the Book of Revelation said something about how you should never sell your body to do that stuff. Once you do that, you're actually like, it's
oh,
that's
the mark of the beast, right?
The mark of the beast,
that's
yeah. The mark of the beast. So it's like that stuff, this new technology, that's all it is.
There's a lot of that's in the Book of Revelation that's kind of popping up right now.
Yeah.
Especially like the fires and stuff. That's a huge one. It's real, bro. Everything's being predicted. I really feel like culture kind of imitates almost predicts real life. Like pop culture predicts real life what happens.
It's like, how would they get the message out through the kids? Like, that's the easiest way. Like,
yeah.
Many still don't believe in the Antichrist, but those with wisdom and discerning can clearly see that this prophecy was spoken of in Revelation 13-17 over 2,000 years ago. A great deal of biblical prophecy has already come true, and we are being prepped for this one-world digital currency as we speak. A chip in the right hand or forehead. An invisible tattoo that lights up under a black light. However they determine to install the mark of the beast, it will be inside of your body, which sounds convenient until you realize that the societies around us were created with this mark of the beast in mind, to make it convenient to accept. You will only be told about the convenience of the mark, and it will most definitely be sold to us under the guise of healthcare and economic stability. Yet, the mark is actually designed to have total control over your body and its frequencies. I would be remiss if I didn't inform you of the most sinister part of this Luciferian plan. If anyone takes this mark of the beast, God will separate himself from all who accept it, because they have chosen their allegiance, and the control this mark will have will remove a great deal of their autonomy. You cannot serve or worship God with a satanic implant that compromises your thought processes. Anyone who accepts this mark of the beast voluntarily will be cast into the lake of fire with the devil and will wrench their teeth in agony as the smoke of their torment rises for eternity. Have a good night's sleep. You're welcome.
This is why you can't go snooping around. This man claimed to have found a giant, and then the CIA found him. Andrew Dawson filmed this on top of Jasper National Park in Alberta, Canada. He thought there was a giant there. It gained a lot of traction online, so he tried to get closer and find the creature, but in the process he claimed that he was stopped and harassed by the CIA. He stops posting for over a month, then he posts this video. It was really weird. All of the viewers were like, this seems forced. A month and a half later, after no posting, he dies. There's so much evidence about giants existing throughout history. The Smithsonian even tried to cover this up. This is like a whole thing. The government doesn't want us to know that giants are real, but there's so much evidence pointing to that they might be real. It's like they've tried to rewrite history and take giants out of it, but then if you look at historical artifacts and documents, giants are mentioned. They're mentioned in the Bible. They're mentioned in all sorts of different cultures from different places in the world that aren't connected to each other. Everyone believed in giants. If you want me to make a whole video talking about it, let me know, and follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
Did you know that in 2002, the US Army had to fight off a giant humanoid in Afghanistan? An Army squad had mysteriously disappeared. That's when Army Rangers were sent to figure out what had happened. That's when they found an entrance to a large cave. Military equipment was scattered everywhere when suddenly they heard a yell, and when they looked up, they saw a 15-foot redhead running straight towards them. The giant threw a spear at them and impaled one of the Rangers. That's when they started to shoot at it, but it took hundreds of rounds before eventually they took it down. The giant was airlifted, and the Rangers were made to sign non-disclosure papers so word wouldn't get out to the public.
I have never seen a giant, and I find it interesting that, of all the cameras that we have today with incredible technologies and zoom features, no one has taken an image or a video except this one that is miles away. That said, the story of this young gentleman is verified by others, and he is deceased now, shortly after he posted the videos. I cannot verify this either way. There are so many crazy things happening now that we once thought were conspiracies, so I can only assume that it's a matter of time before we get a close-up. I have a feeling that our shadow governments are creating chimera in those underground bases, and I would not put it past them to unleash these onto the public. Our government leaders and most Hollywood stars are evil incarnate, and a normal person could not comprehend, nor even believe the true evil humans are capable of. In many ways, we are not that different from demons if we don't keep our souls in check.
Celebrities using babies to stay young.
Of Oprah's favorites, she says it's a miracle, fountain of youth, and her magic wrinkle cure.
Have been in a good relationship for quite a moment now.
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah, for 7 years.
Now he's an early 30 and you're a late 50.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes.
What are you pushing into the skin, Sarah?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person. Far, far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
I leave the plasma on my skin for a day and then wash it off the next day. It gives me the most amazing smooth glow. I'm going to continue to do this forever. It's my preferred anti-aging method.
reaching, but what's going on here on SE? Why are these children's paintings so high? And why is there multiple of them, including one labeled pizza oil painting? Not to mention AI-generated pictures of kids eating wings and pizza, going for around 3 to 4K, and even pictures of pizza for 3K. And there's this one labeled coming soon for 51K, and the person's name is Earth's Dark Offer. I'm not saying anything is going on here, but let me know what y'all think is going on here.
This is certainly a distressing topic. The mega famous ordering innocent children from a menu that is disguised as ordering food. Have no fear, however, the mainstream media assures us that there is nothing to see here. On a serious note, there is nothing to see here, because the media is hiding it from the public and protecting those who are harming these children. There is enough evidence on the FBI website to disprove the media's claims at this point. Now, all we need to do is get someone in office who will do something about it and protect all of those children from those monsters in DC and Hollywood, and this needs to happen right now.
There's a lot of insane topics on the conspiracy iceberg, but one of the most interesting has to be Operation Fishbowl, which, if you don't know, was a real thing that happened in 1962 where the United States did a series of high-altitude nuclear tests. And the reason they did this is because they had no idea what was going to happen. Crazy thing is, that guy right there, Oppenheimer, the creator of the nuke, was terrified that a high-altitude detonation could cause a mass extinction by lighting the entire atmosphere on fire, which thankfully didn't happen. A conspiracy theory about this operation is that some believe it was an attempt to break through the firmament that some believe exists. Another cool thing is they named Operation Fishbowl because of the shape the nuclear cloud made when it was that high in the atmosphere. It looked like a fishbowl. But tell me, why do you think they did these tests?
It's only one day, but the landing is like a week later. But that's when they show it. All the shit happened in one day. There's no satellites out there either, nigga. There's no satellites.
You know, Ferguson, they have so many compartments that break off when you go. So how is the ship the same when it lands?
Yeah. Same shit takes off.
Or even the satellite.
No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is our GPS system. They scrolling shit into the firmament, and that's the permanent GPS system. They call it space. But the space between Earth and God is called the firmament. And until he opens that up, it's going to be continued. Firmament.
So this is prison planet.
Pretty much. We're his pets. Imagine having hamsters and they wild a motherfucker. If you let them out, they eat your dog and your cats. You gotta have a cap on it, don't you? It's called the firmament. It's in the Bible. Nothing will get through the firmament.
So is it a shape of a snow globe?
No, flat Earth is real. Right? The world is not round. If it was, I could disprove this many times. But anyway, there's an ice wall around our three-dimensional world called Earth that lays on a two-dimensional plane. Right? There's an ice wall. This ice wall is connected to other so-called Earths, where dinosaurs live, boom, boom. But we're trapped in the center on this planet in an ice wall. This is why, if you fly from anywhere on Earth to Australia, to Antarctica, why do you always have to fly to England? To make it seem like the world is round, you had to travel that far. From Florida to Antarctica is about four and a half hours on a straight shot. So why the fuck you gotta fly from Florida to London and then there? Anywhere you come from, you gotta go to London and then there.
What are you laying over?
No, you're going to London because the reptilians there said you must come through there.
I'm not sure what to make of this particular topic. I believe in the firmament mentioned in the book of Genesis of the Bible. Although the description of the firmament in the Holy Bible is versed in a way that it could potentially be open to interpretation, in the Hebrew Bible it is clear that it is a solid, transparent dome protecting the earth from the waters above and below earth. This breeds the debate between the flat earthers, who are essentially Christians, and those who believe the world is round, or ellipsoid. Christians believe in God's word. Other faiths, or those with no faith, believe in science. I believe every word of God, and I am not ashamed to call Jesus Christ my Lord and Savior.
Unbelievable truth. Josephine Myrtle was born with a rare genetic anomaly known as dipagus. Her body was completely normal down to the waist, but below it, she had 2 pelvises and 4 legs. Despite her condition, she still managed to marry a doctor and have 5 children.
That's it for this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it and will come back for more because I have a lot more content coming your way. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I want to hear your opinions on the video we just watched. More creepy, scary, strange, intriguing, and informative TikTok compilations are coming soon.